going on? It's your man Gray. You're tuning into EraceTheHate.com, and I have with me Miss Nakesia from ThisIsRnB.com, and we have just left the Women's Empowerment panel here at the Network Music Conference. So, you told me, or you told us rather, that you don't really do the 5-year plan thing. So I imagine that you're very goal-oriented, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so throughout the year, how do you stay goal-oriented? How do you stick to those plans?
I look at my bank account and realize that there's nothing in there. So,
Real rap, right there.
no, one of the things that I was told when I was younger is that you never really realize who's looking at you and who's like paying attention to what you're doing. So I always try to keep that in the back of my mind, like, okay, if I don't do this or if I fail, like how many people, and my mom tells me today, even before I left out, she's like, I'm so proud of you. And I think that for me, it's like I haven't done anything though, but to hear my mom say that, I think that that's one of those things where it's just like, all right, well, you got to keep pushing. I have a younger brother, I have an older sister, I have a niece now. So, you know, to be able to say that I've done as much as I have, even though it feels like I still haven't done anything, I think that's always my driving force. So one day I can literally sit back and be like, you know what? I did this, I did that. I've done so much. So I want to be able to kind of get to that point where I can feel like I've done something, because I still feel like I haven't.
That's love, that's love. So how often do you have to go back to the drawing board?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day, especially since I started the web series with Men Are Crazy Too. You know, when it first started, it was just literally an idea, and to take it from, at first I wanted it to be a book because I'm a published children's author. So I was like, okay, well, I'll make this a book. And then it just happened to where it's like, no, this needs to move quicker, so I made it into a web series. But at the beginning, there was supposed to be a certain R&B artist in it, and then he couldn't do it, and then it turned into where now I have my Sean in it, I have one of Troy Taylor's artists in it, Richard King, I have Cameron Corvée, I have these artists, and then there are other artists that are reaching out. I got, like, you know, mainstream artists to do drops for it. I got Tweet, I got El Varner, I got Seven, I got Rico, I got a lot of different people to just kind of like get on board, just because they really vibe with our site and like they appreciate us. So, you know, to be able to do that and have those people kind of really co-sign whatever it was that we were doing, I'm more than appreciative for it.
So you're doing a lot of great things. She says she's not doing nothing, she's doing everything. So you said Men Are Crazy Too.
Yeah.
I want to know about that, because you calling me crazy, it sounds like.
Yes, kind of, sort of. So basically it kind of came from a place where at the time my friend, she was going through a breakup, and I had recently gone through a breakup, and we just had a conversation where it was like, you know, men always talk about how crazy we are. Like when y'all break up with us, like, bruh, she crazy, she's this, she's that. And then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 3 months later, y'all are at our door. Baby, take me back. I messed up, whatever it is. So it's kind of like, you know what, y'all are kind of crazy about this. But it's also a play on that too, because you guys do crazy stuff that we might think is cute. Like you might show up to our job with flowers. You might show up to anywhere. So it's not really more so like, oh my God, it's a bad thing. It could be either way. I mean, we already know women, we have our moments where we're crazy, but like you guys seem to neglect that y'all have.
I'm crazy
Too. Yeah, like y'all look crazy. I've had a guy show up to my house before crying. Like this stuff happens. You guys are a little out there just like we are. So
I could dig it. So on the This Is R&B tip, who's the hottest R&B artist out right now?
We talking about mainstream?
Who's your favorite?
I don't like to play favorites, but somebody that I do listen to a lot right now is Tory Lanez. I just did a really dope interview with him recently. He called himself the savior of R&B. He's a great guy, great kid. I think that he's going to grow into be big on the side where people might not know much. I mean, of course, I'm always a Trey Songz fan. I'm always going to be a Trey Songz fan, but there are so many people out that we put up every day that like it's really hard for me to choose, but I'm always going to have to go with my boys who are in the web series. My Sean, he's so talented. Richard King, who just dropped a project, and Cameron Corvée, who just dropped a new single too. So I'm always for them. So make sure y'all look them up on our site. Richard King, Cameron with a K, Corvée, and my Sean. You guys should know who my Sean is. He played in the ABC show, and he's under JD right now.
So you seem like the plug.
Yeah,
Maybe she's the plug. How do the young R&B artists, the aspiring R&B artists, get their music to a platform like This Is R&B, or even get it to you? What do they need to do?
Do your research. I think that the hardest thing, well, the thing that irritates me the most is my email address is out there. Like, I have it everywhere. It's very easy to get to. So I think for me, when people meet me and they're like, I wanted to meet you so long and I've been trying to get stuff to you, I'm like, well, have you done your research? Like, especially when in Atlanta, like, I'm everywhere. Like, we have a night almost every week at Negro Village in Atlanta. So it's like, you know, I'm always accessible. So I think for me, just making sure that you do your research, and when you do your research, making sure that you come correct. Because for me, the biggest thing is if I ask you a question and you don't know, I'm gonna be like, well, you don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Just as if you would ask me a question and I'm like, oh, no. You know what I mean? You're gonna look like, so what is this? Like, is this for real? Like, did you guys really win a Soul Train Award? Like, who are you? So I think the biggest thing is just making sure that when you come up to someone, regardless if it's me, if it's somebody at wherever else, like, you have to make sure that you know, because at the end of the day, you might not be a R&B artist, but you might be a rap artist. You don't know who I could know. I could know somebody at Revo. I could know somebody at Rapper. Like, you just have to make sure that you're prepared and you come with it. My name is Nakesia Pannell for This Is R&B.com, and you are tuned in to EraceTheHate.com. Make sure that y'all tune in, take a listen, do whatever you have to do to erase the hate.